that intro?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. We're here today. It's Sunday. It's not Saturday. We weren't feeling good yesterday, so we didn't film. And it's rainy today, and it's miserable, and it's cold, and it's yucky. And my allergies are bothering me. And we're pretty miserable, huh? It's kind of crummy.
Yeah.
But that's all right. The show must go on for all of our fans. So it's Sunday. How many weeks now? Is this our 6th or 7th?
I don't know.
Our producer's telling us 7th. 7 weeks. I drove this week. I didn't get out of the car. I walked to the car, got in the car, drove the car back, got out of the car, walked into the house. So that's my second time out during the quarantine. Anyway, so we're cold and we're wrapped up in old familiar sweatshirts and hoods today. So that's how we're doing. How are you guys doing? I'm trying to up my game. So we're here with Quarantine with Comics, week 7. I'm Matt.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're going to talk about some comic books that we read this weekend. Why don't I go first? Since and I'll let you go last. Okay, we're going to start off with this one. Annihilation Scourge. It is Annihilation, right? Thanks. My English is not okay. Anyway, so this comic book, I thought it would be pretty exciting because it has some characters that I like on it. Silver Surfer specifically. And this is Alpha number 1. And to be honest with you, I really didn't like it. This is one of those comic books, you guys hear me talk about this, I've heard me talk about this before, where there's so much too much going on. For me, when you cram so much like talking and so much action into the comic book that you get confused as to like what's happening and who's talking and who's thinking, I can't get into it. So, although I think the basic storyline of the comic is pretty good, and this story stretches over several comics. One is Silver Surfer, which I have, and I may read that, but it's different. Like it's not the same comic. The storyline spread over different comics. Like I forget, one I think is Fantastic Four, one is Silver Surfer, but yeah, it was okay. I was kind of disappointed, but I wanted to try it, and I did. I'll try anything with Silver Surfer on it. But Silver Surfer is not even in this comic book, so maybe that's part of it too. They do that sometimes. They get you at the cover. There he is right there on the cover, flying. But he's not inside. Okay, that's it. Go ahead.
Okay. So, this is my first comic book. It's Angel.
Oh, yes.
And we've been watching the Buffy Vampire Slayer series.
Speak up just a little bit. You're quiet like a church mouse today.
Okay.
As Dr. Steve Brule would say.
So, I'm reading Angel. And, pretty much, we've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, I thought it'd be fun to read this. And it's about, like, Angel, and he, I forget where he's at, but like he's at like a different place. He's in Sunnydale, but he's like training this person how to like fight and stuff, and then they get him and then pretty much there's like this wolf character, like a wolf that comes up, and like the person doesn't like the Angel says to run. She says no, and then it doesn't end well because like he has to go to Sunnydale because there's like an issue that happened. That issue, so that's why he has to go to Sunnydale. And he also has no soul.
He has a soul.
No, he doesn't have a soul.
Angel doesn't have a soul in this.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I don't think so. He might have a soul. I think he either doesn't have a soul or he does have a soul.
Well, yes, those are two choices. Yep. So let me ask you this: did you like it?
I liked it.
Do you want to read the next issue?
Yeah.
Okay. My next question is Spike in it?
Not in this one.
Oh, okay. Spike's my personal favorite character, I think,
Same.
of Buffy. So maybe we'll get some Angel and Spike comic books. We'll see. Anyway, I haven't read that. I want to read it.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Okay, my turn. My next comic book that I picked up this week to read is Batgirl #1. Batgirl. I haven't read Batgirl, I don't think, ever in my entire life. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was going to drop a bombshell on the show today. I don't know if I should. Okay, I'll do it real quiet. This is something I don't talk about, but I thought I'd tell you guys. I've never really been a big fan of reading Batman comic books. I know Batman's very popular, but I just never collected Batman comic books. I always considered myself a Marvel person, but I thought I'll check out Batgirl and see if I like it, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Thought the writing was done well. I thought the art was great. The action was good. It's smooth. There's not too much going on. It was a good storyline. She is in Japan for this first issue, and so yeah, I thought it was good. I truly enjoyed it. She actually is going there to meet a superhero that's 104 now, and she finds her and is able to meet her. I forget what that superhero was called. A superhero from Japan, and let me see if I can find it real quick. I said I was going to shorten my reviews this time around because I kind of ramble, in case you guys haven't noticed. Anyway, can't find it, but it's very good. I'm going to continue probably reading this series and see where it goes. I've been liking these DC comic books, which kind of weirds me out because when I was a kid, like in high school, middle school, and high school, you were either a Marvel fan or you were a DC fan. I think because of the age that I was, like, I wasn't willing to, like, deviate from that. So now I'm like, I don't care. I'll read anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yes, this is how it typically goes at my house. I try to make a joke, and the girls are just like, man, it's great. Okay, that's it for me for the next one. You're up. Oh, wait. Yes. Go.
This is Chewbacca, #4. And
Number 4 already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. They like pretty much they arrive at this like this planet, and like they're with a group of people, cause like they escaped, yay team, and they split up, and like Chewie and the girl they go into like this like spaceport area, and like they say, hey, we have a droid, they just pretty much lie so they can get in. And then, so they come in, and then all of a sudden, like, they quickly get found, and, like, people know that they're not supposed to be in there. So they start to fight, and they win, but sadly, the Emperor, like, if there's a person, he said, like, next time you're here as the Emperor, come with me, or something like that. So, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Do you like this Chewbacca series?
Yeah.
I liked it when I read it. I thought it was cool. Just the idea of Chewbacca having his own storyline, like going off on his own. I think it's exciting. I like it. Okay, let's see. So you have 2 down. I have 2 down. Let me do one more, and then we'll go carry on from there. I'm going to do one more. Let me see. Okay. Now this is a Marvel comic. This is Arrow. Arrow?
I think that's how you say it.
Arrow number 1. Check it out. So, this is another one that I was really surprised about. I thought the cover looks great, and I almost didn't get it. I passed on it once before, and then I thought, well, I'll get it and check it out because I'm kind of opening up a little bit to try different things. Because for a while, for a while, the only thing I bought was Star Wars comic books, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for months. That's all I would buy. But, they're cool. I got the entire volume 2, 75 comics, so that's pretty cool. And anyway, um, so this was very surprising to me. She is a heroine, and I think she's in Singapore, maybe. Let's see. No, Shanghai. Anyway, her day job is actually she's an engineer, and no, she's an architect, and she builds buildings. She built a lot of the buildings in that city, but she also has this crazy superpower where she can control the wind. And in this episode, um, buildings come to life. So it's like classic, like superhero, like comic booky storyline, like where buildings come to life and they start fighting.
Mm.
And she uses the power of the wind to fight this building. And at the end, something much bigger and much more intense comes out of the sky. And that's where the story ends, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But the action scenes are cool. The writing is cool. The artwork's really good. And I thought it was a good storyline. She's also in another story, like comic book, about, what's it called? It has to do with Atlantis. So if you've come here for some technical information about comic books and take a deep dive into stuff, it's not gonna happen. We're just having fun. Anyway, it's another comic book series about Atlantis, and so I thought this was cool. I really liked it. Had fun reading it, and she seems to be a really interesting character because it's female, so I'm all about the female. I live with $3 and a wife, so I'm all about the female empowerment comic books, and she's awesome. And she's not American, which is cool too. So I like to share spread the love. Anyway, that's my second one. My third one. Do you think is it time? Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to announce that we have our special guest of the day. Eliana, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah. Okay, so the special guest of the day is
Drum roll.
It is Abigail. Okay.
She's also our executive producer, but for some reason she's not on cue. The producer didn't tell her to get ready, apparently. And her name is
Abigail Smith. Hey guys. You want me to just get right into my review?
Well, how are you today?
I'm doing good. It's cold and wet and rainy.
Do you have any movies coming out lately?
Maybe.
Oh, wait. That was the wrong talk show. Anyway, go ahead.
So not last week, but the week before, I did a review on Space Battle Lunchtime, the first issue, and this is the second issue that came out. And basically, so where they were at. Let's do a little background. So she was in the competition and had no idea. And so this is the actual competition. And she's trying to figure out how, because none of the food's like the food from Earth, none of the machine is, and two characters get in a food fight because one of them got the other person's ingredient, and she actually doesn't get eliminated. The judges really like, she makes a pie out of some random fruit thingy. And yeah, so she's in for another
Space
round.
fruit?
Space fruit.
Yeah. So she's in for another round. She won that round, huh?
Yeah.
Dang, that's tough.
Against
To
top
win
culinaries.
an intergalactic cooking contest.
Sorry.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, we're doing these as we're just filming and going. We're not doing any editing because it takes up too much time. So sorry about that.
Oh.
Anyway, so Abigail says to me after reading this comic book, "Can you order more of these at the same time so I can read them like one right after another?"
Yes, I did say that.
Yeah, and my response is this. First of all, you got to have a class, a course on how to treat comic books better. I just thought of that since I saw her. Where are you going?
Marty, get out, get out.
Anyway,
Marty was
I just thought of that as I saw her wrinkle up the cover in her hand. So yeah, so she and throw the comic book on the floor for Marty to walk on. Whoa, and knock the camera to the side. Wow, we're just falling apart today
Sorry.
on Quarantine with Comics. Oh my gosh. This is almost like a live show. Anyway, so I said to her, well, I thought to myself, she doesn't understand the point of comic books. The beauty behind comic book is you get the comic book and you read one of the stories, and then you have to wait till the next comic book comes out.
That's not the beauty of it. The beauty is the story.
No,
the
beauty is.
illustration.
Yes, those are all very good points. But one of the beautiful things about comic books is it forces you to slow your roll, get some patience, relax into it, cherish the storyline. You know, you gotta like grow with these characters, man.
Yeah, dude.
And since but when we kick back, when things start shipping again and they start shipping comic books again, you'll see that when you get a new comic book and the next one's not been put out yet, and you gotta wait either a month or 2 weeks to get the next comic book.
A month? You wait months for a new comic book?
Sometimes the comic book comes out monthly. Sometimes the comic book comes out every 2 weeks. Just depends.
Wow.
Gets expensive, man.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But it's like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a patient hobby.
Oh.
Yeah, so this will be good for you. You can learn how to care for your books and to be patient. It'll get you ready for high school.
Yes.
She's going to be a high school student. I know.
In 9th grade?
She's going to be in 9th grade.
Freshman.
At the virtual Wheeling Park.
Virtual?
Yeah. Didn't you hear Jim Justice say?
What?
You're not going back to school yet in the actual buildings? In the same buildings?
Are you serious?
I meant this year, nerd.
Well, duh.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm in middle school. I thought I was going to start out high school, like, at home. Virtual?
Well, you never know what's going to happen with the coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
And we're still in quarantine now. It's May.
No, it isn't. It's April.
Oh, it's April. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord.
April 26, 2020.
What day is it?
The 26th, 2020.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, thanks for coming, Abigail. We got to get on with the show. I said we weren't going to have a super long show this time.
Sorry.
We're losing people, man. Our masses. Why don't I go next and then you can finish up? No. Yeah, let me go next.
Okay.
And then you can do one, I'll do one, and then you finish it up.
Okay.
Okay, my next one is from Boom Comics. I really love these independent. Well, they're not independent, but they're smaller comic book companies like Boom and Dark Horse. Dark Horse is pretty big at this point, though. But some of these smaller comic companies that are not DC or Marvel, which pretty much dominate the market, I really, really like them, and I always like to read these stories because I think they can come up with some pretty interesting stories. This is called Alienated. Check it out. I got the B cover because I thought it was cool. I think it's well, it's whatever. It's a variant. Anyway, I think you guys should read this because it's about these kids, high school kids, and they're all like sort of I wouldn't say outcasts, but they're all sort of loners, and they come across something in the woods, and it looks like a big pod or something. And anyway, they on their way to school, and then they get to school and they realize that they're in each other's head. They can hear each other's thoughts, even when they're not in the same class. And it goes by like first period, second period, lunch, third period. So they can hear each other's thoughts throughout school, and then like at the end, they're like, "What the heck is going on?" There's also some like bully kid in this who's like your typical like, he makes rude remarks about people who are gay, and like he's just very ignorant and very like he's a bully, and he's just not a very smart kid. And so he goes and like he goes to where this thing is, and chaos ensues. And at the very end, you see this character for the first time that is on the cover. So I'm not going to give any more of the story away. You'll have to read it. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I hope it's not going to be like some of the other comic books that I've read lately that deal with aliens and like leave you at the end going, "What the heck just happened?" So I'm hoping they can like follow through and have a strong storyline throughout this series. But we'll see what happens. But the first one I love. Okay, Leon, you're up.
This one is Archie and Me. It is
Classic.
it's number 84, and it's pretty much about Mr. Weatherby and like Miss I forget the other teacher's name, but there's another teacher, and they're complaining about how like they just like the kids are just like all bad and they should all deserve attention. The other teacher's like, no, you shouldn't give attention the kids attention right away. It's like it's not right. So then he tries to not give the kids attention, and Archie he threw a ball at the principal's face. He was late to class. It was just all these scenarios, and then like he just finally and like because like Archie's like really confused and why he's not giving him attention. Because he's like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to give. Like, it's okay. Just go about your day. And then he finally breaks into good attention this instant. And so then he just gets. So then he smiles, and then he's like, and then everyone's like, why are you so happy? And he's like, I'm going to get attention.
Wow.
And there's a lot of other stories in here too.
Let me see. Can I see this? This is an old one. What year is this? I can't read it. Can you read it? I don't have my glasses on. What year does that say?
1976.
1976? Wow, I was 3 years old.
Really?
Look at this comic book. It's in pretty rough shape. Looks pretty old. Is that what I look like?
No.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, okay. My last one is The Amazing Spider-Man number 41. I love Spider-Man. I think he's hilarious. I love these comic books. And so I was in the mood. I thought, you know what? I'm going to read a Spider-Man comic book because it's been a long time. It's just one of those things where you sort of, your whole life, Spider-Man's very popular and you just kind of don't think much about it after a while. I didn't. I mean, I kind of just didn't think much about Spider-Man for a long time. But then I thought, you know what? Why? I love Spider-Man. I'm going to check out a current Spider-Man, and I loved it. I thought it was funny. I thought the writing was very well done. And there's another character that's wanting to team up with Spider-Man, and his name is I think it's Boomerang. Let me see. Anyway, yeah, his thing is he throws boomerangs, and but he's kind of like I don't know if you ever read or watched the Tick cartoon.
Oh yeah, I watched it. What's up with you?
Yeah, I love the Tick. Me and my buddy Al Weiss, Big Al, we used to watch it all the time in college, and but they have like really funny superheroes that aren't quite really superheroes. They just kind of fumble through. Um, it also reminded me of that Stretch character on the Flash
The Stretch character.
on the CW show,
I don't know what their name is, but I remember what you're talking
where he wasn't that serious of a superhero. He's just kind of like
about. Stretch.
fumbling through everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what this character is like, and he wants to team up with Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's like, ugh, come on, man, you're killing me, kind of thing. But it's funny. They're like collecting these artifacts from Kingpin's trying to get them, and so it's one of these situations where the Boomerang superhero actually has the map in his like mind somehow. So chaos ensues, and I think there might be two or three comics on this storyline, like 42, and I don't know if 43 is. Maybe there's just two of them. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish reading that series, and then I'll let you know how it goes. But I thought it was great. I loved it. Okay, final comic review right here, folks.
This is it's number 1, and pretty much it features like young superheroes who are just trying to figure out the world. And there's this girl who comes to school and she's like is a speaker. She speaks up about superheroes, I think. Pretty sure that. She speaks up about superheroes. But then suddenly like there's like a dragon outside or like some type of dragon thing, and like they try to fight it, and so but then there's this character Vive something, and I think it's this one. But I like this picture. I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
But she again gets out of control and she's fighting, and then like that leads one of the characters like in the hospital, and
Miss Marvel, right?
yeah, and then oh yeah, and then like the parents and like kids are like saying, yeah, we shouldn't have like superheroes because it's not good for the kids to be superheroes at such a young age. Or and, like some people are like, oh, we need new superheroes. So, like that's also going on.
Cool. I read that one too. It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
They're trying to outlaw kid superheroes, so they're going around and rounding them all up. It's not a good situation. It's pretty bad. But it's good. I like the storyline. We'll have to see what happens. Well, we have one more section of the show for you. And that is our picks for the cover of the week. I'll do mine and then you can end the show. How's that?
Okay.
My cover is I'm gonna have to take it out of the bag because of the sun. or the light. There's no sun today because it's a miserable day. But my pick is Star Wars number 50. It's Princess Leia on the cover. She has this dress, but within the dress are the schematics of various ships. Well, not schematics really, but it's got, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, etc., etc. But I thought that was a cool cover. Not only because it has a really good picture of, or drawing of Princess Leia, but it also has this stuff happening in her dress. I thought it was awesome. It looks pretty cool. Did you see it? Check this out.
Cool.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That's a cool one. So that's my pick for this week. Eliana, go ahead.
This is mine. I like the green in it, and then I also like the horse because I thought the horse was cool, but she looks really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? The Book of Fairies or something?
The books of fairy, I think. Yeah. And I like the flowers and stuff. Like, it reminds me of like nature.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can I see it? Let me see. Ooh, yeah, there's a lot going on there. I like this guy coming out of a fairy, and I like this king. Here, can I show that up close? Look at that guy. Ugh, coming out of the flower, and then look at this guy. Yowzers, that looks pretty serious. That's cool. I like it. All right, folks. Anything else you want to add, Eliana?
No.
No? Hopefully next weekend will be nicer. So maybe we can get out of the house. And if we don't get to see anybody, we can go out back or maybe go for a walk. Something like that. That'd be cool. Yeah. All right. So hopefully maybe we'll be able to change the name of the show soon. From Quarantined with Comics to the Saturday Comic Show or something. I don't know. Although it's Sunday. Okay. If you want, leave in the comics or the comments how you're doing during all of this. Anything you want to add?
No.
Okay, folks. Till next weekend. See ya.